It's Monday we're back, so that would make it day 6-ish, because we did sort of like a rained off day the other day and we went home early for Thursday, I think it was. Anyway, right, I was late in this morning, had to go somewhere. They've insulated the walls and the ceiling. I'll explain that to you a little bit. 50mm PIR, it's pushed right back to the OSB. They've formed wherever needed, wherever there's any little gaps, they've put expanding foam in there as well. They've also done the ceiling 100mm PIR. If you follow our videos, we'll know we used a hybrid roof and our insulation is pushed tight to the top. There is no airflow in there. It's absolutely fine for this, what's the word I'm looking for, low occupancy rooms. The light cables are in there as well for the down lights. They've cut out them. David, jump in here so you can see properly, mate. They've cut the insulation, they've put it up tight as well, and they've put some little nails in there to stop that little piece falling down, and they've also formed the gaps there as well. When you do your pitched roof, you will be left with little gaps like that up there, so they have been insulated as well from the outside with rock wool, which you've seen in day 5, and they've also formed the gaps as well. So this room now is ready for the vapour barrier. Excuse me. This is the vapour barrier, a couple of different sorts, all the same thing really. But from the report that somebody did for us kindly, it said the vapour barrier was pretty much redundant, but we still put it on anyway, so that will be stapled to the roof. The gaps there, that is filled with rock wool as well, that's pushed tight back as well, so building's fully insulated now. If David just looks at the front there as well, they've filled the void at the front there above the steel with rock wool as well, because obviously that's hard to insulate. So you've got your PIR, you've got your rock wool there, so that'll all get vapour barried now. You can see the upside down joist hangers, they've all been fully nailed again now. Like, there's no point in nailing there because it's on a joint, it serves no purpose, but anywhere where there is a positive nail, they are put a positive nail. So that's the walls done. Plasterboard carriers, I'm just trying to explain everything because I wasn't here this morning. They put plasterboard carriers as well in there. So when that's plasterboarded, that side you've got to fix in there, and that's got to fix in there as well. The front walls, of course, are 120mm deep, so you've got a bigger void on there. So if you want to recess your consumer unit in there, that can be done as well. Jen will come back, they've nipped off some plasterboard, so she'll come back and put the pattresses in. I am going to start fitting the bifold doors. There's the sill in the packet. They've pulled back the easy peel already. They've cleaned it off as well, and they have forgotten the laser, so I'm going to have to fit these doors with the spirit level, which is just, I suppose, as easy and as accurate. If you look at that there, can you see that level there? I'm going to put my glasses on. Is it slightly out? I can't tell if it is it?
Maybe a touch, but not much at all.
Right, maybe a touch, but not much. Yeah, I mean, it's slightly out that side. There's, where's the packers, David? Did the packers come out?
Bag there.
Yeah, but have you got the other box as well? Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to throw a mil packer under there, or a 2mm packer, because it doesn't look much at all, that. There, it's a mil out over that distance, yeah? We'll just slide the level across there. Slightly high at that side. So it's up and down a little bit, as you would imagine it would be, because, you know, you've got joist hangers there, your 22mm floor sat on your joist hanger, it's screwed down. You see the little thing there, you see that little step, David, there, looking the floor. You see it? Yeah, all right. So, you know, it's going to be up and down a little bit. So, what you want to do, you first, with the laser, you could work it out really, really accurately, but we haven't got the laser, so I am going to use packers. They're available from Two Station or any other bloody DIY place or anything like that. They're called, what they're called? Broad fix. Simply shim it. Shims. That's another word for them, shims. Right, so I know I'm out a little bit, so what I'm going to do, I'm going on the assumption that it's out. So I'm going to start off with a 2mm packer, because, not a 2mm packer, that is a 3mm packer. Right, when you fix your sill, David, have you got your tape? Good man. I think mine's in my toolbox, David. Right, so when you fix your sill, you want to come in 150mm from the side, okay? Ish. It's not super critical. Right, so there's my 150mm. I'm looking at that screw there. I always screw to the right hand side of the packer, so I'm potentially going to hit that. No, 70mm. No, all right, forget about that. Right, so there's 150mm, yeah. I'm going to put another packer. I want it to fall there, but you can see there somebody's already marked up where the shoe is, but it's the rod that's the problem, and the rod is there. Yeah, so I'm going to put another packer there, and so on. We'll have another one there, You've seen me fit these doors loads of times. It's probably quite boring, but there's a lot of people that have watching it for the first time. So for you, it might be interesting. Right, 150mm. Right, so that's all my points there where I'm going to fix my sill down. So like I said, I'm going to start off with a 2mm packer. We'll put one there. Okay, right. So look at the level, David. That level is definitely out now, isn't it? Right. So because the level is straight. Hopefully. I'm going to pop one under there, see how that looks. No, still out there, isn't it? So it wants to come up a little bit more, so we'll try a 4mm. What are you saying, David? Saying a little bit? Yeah. Right. There. That's perfect. Right, so I'm bordering on there. I've got 5mm now. So what I'm going to do, that's a 3mm there. I'm going to drop that 3mm because that seems to be the highest point. I'm going to drop it down to 1mm because obviously we don't want this floor massively in the air. So we'll drop that down. So I've took 2mm off that. So that means I need to take 2mm off this. So I've got a, what's that, a 4 and a 1, which is 5. So now I need a 3mm, which I know was my white packer. 3mm. So this again should be bang on level, which it is. Right, so I'm going to go at this one now and see what I can slide under there without lifting that level. Annoyingly, it's in between. Look at that. Yeah, there's no rock in there, so we're good on that there as well. Right, so I know that's level, so just going to rotate my level. If you watched before, rotate the level, and if the level is out slightly, then you will correct it on its way back in. Right, so that's set on that packer there. That is near enough. Perfect, let's stick it under there. There we go, that black one's lovely under there, so I'll have a look at this now. Just a little bit tight, maybe get a 1mm. I mean, we're talking like a millimetre. You know, it's absolutely nothing of a tolerance, but one of these doors, if you want them to glide properly, then, you know, you need to be right. That's going under there too easy. That's possibly too easy as well. That's too much. Right. So they're my packers. That's what I'm going with there. There's only me and Davey here, so I'm not going to mark them up what they are because we're not going to move them. Are we, Davey, hopefully? No? Right, so that's my packers there. The raffle again was a massive success. It sold out in 1 hour and 40 minutes on Saturday. First prize winner received his prize yesterday, which was Sunday. So he was more than happy with that, I'm sure. He spent a tenner and he got a lot of, what was it? Makita tools, wasn't it? He got a lot of Makita tools, so he'll be well chuffed with that. What I'm going to do with that, Davey, is not throw it over there in that pile of dust. I'm going to throw it to you. You'll put it in a rubble sack for me, please, to keep it clean, mate, if you will. So, I'm going to undo this sill. I'm using the knife to score down. I'm scoring down the thermal break, and therefore I know I'm not going to scratch the sill where it's visible. The reason why I'm late this morning, 2 reasons, and I sent it to the doctors, and the second reason is the raffle stuff for this Saturday came as well, which to my surprise, because I only ordered it last night, DPD dropped it off this morning, and the full Milwaukee kit, I shall tag a video on the end of here. That will be up for grabs on Saturday again. £2 a ticket, 50% of the proceeds. Once raffle have took their share, we'll go straight to candlelighters, helping the fight in cancer in children. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on this. Right, so I'm going to put them sill caps here. We'll put them in that packer bag, Davey. I'll forget they're there. Will you remind me they're there, yeah? Right, the sill. Right, I'm not going to fit the doors today. We've had a change of heart on that, so we're going to carry on with the plasterboarding. John's already fit the vapour barrier to the ceiling. Like I said, in that report, he says it's pretty much redundant, but we're going to carry on fitting it anyway. We've plasterboarded the ceiling. John's pinged the chalk line on the top there because he's already drawn his plan where his lights are. So he's drilled them as well. We always like to get them drilled just to make sure we're in the right place before it gets skimmed, because you don't want to get it skimmed and find out you're in the wrong place. So the ceiling's plasterboarded. We're doing the walls now. Because our roof is pitched and we keep the internal pitch to maintain roof height, the sides will be cut at an angle, but the back wall's just a straight cut all the way down. Pretty straightforward. This is the first time I've ever seen these boards like this. Maybe they've been like for years, but I've never ever come across them. I've often come across where they've been marked up for 600 centres, but these are actually marked up for 400s as well. And that's the spacing you really want to be screwing them on the wall. On the ceiling we go a little bit tighter than that, but like I said, I've never come across them in all the years I've been doing it. We've never seen them, have we, John?
We've seen boards at 1200 wide, haven't we?
I've seen 600 dots, but never at them. Anyway, so there's genius. There you go, that's straight up, look, well done. We'll get 4 screws in the top, will be sufficient to hold the weight of that board. Jen can let go now. And like I say, have you got any screws, Jen? Can I just have a couple of little handful, please? These have been marked up. We put 400 centres, so if our timbers are right, there you go. John's going to go for that 800 one there. I don't know, maybe you're going to tell me different. Maybe they've been around for ages, but maybe it's a southern thing then, because up north I ain't ever seen them. So we're going to carry on plasterboarding. I'll fit the doors tomorrow, but you've seen me do them loads of times. John, he's going to run the cables tomorrow, and also I'll throw the mic to him and he'll show you where he's going to run that when tomorrow comes. Anyway, that's what we'll be doing. So that's it, pretty much basic. We put patras in as well. David, you see the patras there? They're the offcuts of flooring. Basically, they're flush with the timber, so when it gets plasterboarded, we can fit a TV bracket there. There is also one in this wall here. There's one there and one there, and Jen's already cut the timber out there. Can you see that, David? Look. So what will happen is, let me just draw you a picture. Sorry, John. The heater will go somewhere like that. We've got patrases to fix to there, and then the cable then will go into the wall. It'll go along there. It'll go through that notch out there, and there will be a fuse spur, and it'll come into the back of the fuse spur box. So it's nice and tidy. It's a good little detail. No trailing cables then, which is ideally what you're after. We're back again. Didn't fit the sill yesterday, or the doors in fact. Carried on plasterboarding because the plaster is going to come today. John and Jen are just going to put in the back boxes there. Appleby back boxes, plaster back boxes. There you go. Literally, they cut the hole, pop them in, push the lugs out, pull the lugs forward, and then that traps the box in there. But once they start cutting them out, we'll show you them going in. Yesterday, I levelled the sill with the level because we forgot the laser. And I did, in fact, write down what colour packers went where. And I've just put the laser on now just to check it because it looked bang on with the level yesterday. And it's not level. So the eyes are not as good as the laser. Turn it on. There we go. So I'll put my glass on so I can see it. David, can you see it there? Don't know if you can you? Yeah. So I've got approximately 35 on that one. Again, 35 on that one. 35 on that one. 35 on that one. David, what's that? That's just bordering past 35, but it's still 35. And that one there is slightly just past it again. So what I've done, that one there, which one have I swapped? That one there, I've changed that to a white. So it's now 100% level. It would still be fine with the spirit level, that's not a problem. But if we've got the laser, you might as well use it. So I'm going to cut the sill to length now. I know our doors are 3 metres, so I'm going to whip this down with this chop saw. We use this chop saw generally just for cutting these sills now. The blade's probably seen better days. Probably been time we've got a new one. David, can you sort the end of that, please? Lift it up a touch. There. that's that. As I said before, the doors have been sat there since last week now. Express Bifolds we use, they're leading door manufacturer in the country. If you order now, it's like 5 working days, you get 5% off if you use this code as well. It's fine, fire away. But that's the beauty of it. It's the 5 working days, which is a no-brainer for us, and for you guys, you're going to get 5% off as well. I know before, especially when COVID hit, we were waiting 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks for doors and stuff. But everywhere's caught up now, and they're carrying these as stock items. Jump in there and see what Jen's doing. Look, so she's cutting the back box out with her multi-tool. You'll notice that we don't internally wire ours, we run them outside. It's a lot easier to insulate, you're not breaking the insulation. It's completely allowed as well under the regs, despite what a lot of people might think it is allowed. So what they'll do, they'll run the cables. Jen will fit that back box and she'll pop a hole in the wall, and the cable will run along and go up and into the hole, and then we'll seal the hole as well. So that's how the cables will be run. It's going to rain tomorrow, John. Yeah, all day it says. So they're the end caps that go on. They will cover the end of the. You've seen me do this loads of times, so I'm not going to bore you with this. Basically, I'm going to dam it. I'm going to come over here, Debbie. I'm going to fill it with silicone. I'm going to fill inside there with silicone. I'm going to put the end cap on like that, and then any water will go down that hole there, Debbie. Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah. Any water drips down there. It drips into the sill, and it drips out the weep holes that have been drilled in the sill there. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then we'll there it is, David. Look from yesterday, found it. And then we'll pop the camera back on as well. Right. So we put the packers down. I've cut the sill. I put the caps on the end sill there. Like I said before, we use a 190 sill. So what we do, we sit our frame flush with the OSB, which means the back of the frame will be there, and the 190 will be there, which means by the time we've got cedar, we've still got overhang. If you get a 150 sill and you've double battened it, it means you're going to have to pull your door right out to there, and you've got very little to fix there. But when we do it there, we've still got the frame to fix there. So, we need to now silicone on the bottom of the door. Now, I know where it's going. So what I'm going to do, take the packer up, move across, drop the packer down, and silicone over the top of there. So what I want is a continual bed of silicone all the way under the door. Silicone's gone up loads. I think they're like £5 on a tube now. I can remember when it was £2.70 or something. Do you remember that, John? Wasn't that long ago, was it? Everything's gone up in price, crazy. So yesterday the vast majority of the Milwaukee kit came. John's decided he wants to win it because his drill's now a bag of crap, isn't it, John? So John will be entering, Jen will enter if she can be bothered, and David will be entering if he can get out of bed. So if you find that one of these people have won the raffle, it ain't got nothing to do with me. They're completely allowed to enter it and raffle themselves. Pick the winner. Right, that's sealed. David, you're going to help me put this down and film at the same time, yeah? Right, you can see the 70 mark, can't you, David, where I put that on? Yeah? Just hold that still there. Don't offer it down until I'm ready, David, all right? Yeah. Right, you get it somewhere near, mate. Right, you on the line? Yeah. Right, drop it down. Right, David, yeah. I'm just going to push it to me fully. How much gap have you got for the wall there? About what, sorry? Right, okay. What you got now? Right, just hold it there for me, mate. Right, put a screw in there. So I'm on my 70 mark. It's really throwing my eye off that because I've cut that easy peel back. Like that, David, it looks like it's out, doesn't it? Right, so what I always tend to do. Are you on the line, Debbie? Can't see it. Is it there now? Compress that right down like that, and then that's squashed the silicone down and formed the seal under the door. But because it's got a drip on it, you're not going to get no water coming off the front of that anyway. You don't want to break the seal. It's the thermal brake. You don't want to break the thermal brake. Just want it enough to compress it. Get it down enough. So what I always do, I wait till she's finished cutting out. Jen, just stop a second, will you? So what I'm going to do now is just fill them with silicone, cover the heads with silicone as well, and then that's your sill dammed successfully, so any water will go where it's supposed to go. And if you do open your doors and you see water sat in your sill, it's perfectly normal, because that's what it's designed to do. Any rainwater that drips against the door is designed to go and end up down in this well, which will then find its way out rather than find its way in to the building, which is exactly what we want. You can go now, Jen. So you can see that's fully sealed now, and what I always do when I'm doing these, I'll fix from inside, and then what I'll do then, I'll always drill to the right hand side of the packer, yeah, and then when I put my door frame on, I know that I need to drill to the left hand side of the packer to screw rather, because if I go to the right hand side, I'll hit the top of that and then I'll have a hole where I don't want a hole, and nobody wants that. Right, so we know that. I'm going to use the level on this rather than the laser, because I know not everybody's got a laser, so I'll put the level there. You see it, David, look, it's just on the back of that little lip there. Yeah, you can go. And then I'll level that up. I have to put my glasses on so I can't see now. I'll get that perfectly level. Draw a line there, and what I'm going to do then, I'm going to fix the timber to that. So when I open my doors up, it'll hit that timber, the doors will be plumb, and they won't be able to fall back into the room. But you'll see that. I'll trap it in. Again, same with this one. Just needs to, there's just a little rubber foot on the level. So I just need to sit that back a little touch. Keep the foot on that. Yeah. I will, of course, check these as I'm installing them as well, just in case I'm slightly out. But like I say, I'll use that instead of the laser, because not everybody's got a laser. Let's clean the silicone off the end of that level. Right, so what I need to do now is I need to cut myself 4 blocks of anything. Where's my multi tool, David? There it is. I will use slate batten. Right, so these blocks. Hi there, mate. You alright? Right, so what I'll do then, I'll put slate batten on there, a little bit roofing batten block, and then that will stop the door falling into the room. Now, you can use windbags if you want, but trust me, this method is absolutely faultless. You've got the ability here now. You've already pre-plumbed your door. So what will happen then is we'll lift the door into situ. The door can't fall into the room. I will then trap the door with another block on that side on both sides. Then I can open the doors, I can fix the doors, and I know they're already plumbed that way, so it's free and it works. Right, so they're ready to go in now. What we'll do, we'll put some 1mm packers. Go on, you're fine. a series of 1mm packers along the sill, and that will stop the door from scratching the sill when we lift it in. Just take off them little injection moulded bits because they're quite sharp. So they will sit on there. Don't do them, Jen, it's dust is going on with silicone. Right, they'll sit on there. We'll drop the door in, and then when the door's in, we'll just pull them out gently, and the door will drop down into situ. But what we need to do, we need to put a bead of silicone. Let me point to it, David, see if you can see it. We need to put a bead of silicone along that line there. So when the door sits in, that then is sealed as well. So any water that comes in through the frame or under the frame drops down into the thermal break valley there and goes where it's supposed to go rather than back into the room. So a bead of silicone across there and then doors in. Yeah. Right, so like I said before, I'm going to put a bead of silicone down that back lip there, and that will seal the door to the frame. Once that's in, I'll clean that off then because it ends up leaving the right mess on it otherwise. Right, Jen's going to locate it for us. Me and John are going to lift it in. You got it, John? I'm relatively heavy, but what you're trying to avoid is damage. Get it somewhere near, John. It's because it's wet, John. It's been out in rain on it for ages, so. Right, you ready? Yep. Right, so will you just hold it for a second, John? Right, so like I said, it's sat now on them slate, bits of slate bats. John. Davey, lost them. There they are. So once I can get these screwed on here now, that will then stop. I'll explain what I've done with this one in a minute as well. Put that there for a reason, because what I actually did when I put the sill in, somehow mysteriously I ballsed it up, and there's about 23mm difference in it, so I've rectified that, but obviously I'm still plumbed up. Right, everybody can let go of that now. What I'll do, I'll just pull these packers out now. That sill will then drop down into its final position. Yeah, so it can't fall in, it can't fall out. The only danger you've got is, I suppose, is the bottom coming out. But because I've made a little bit of an error, balls up error, on the top, I'm just going to put 2 more slate lats on the bottom to stop it kicking out. I'll show you what I've done anyway. What I'll do now, I'll just put one on here. I'm only going to put it near the bottom like that, simply because I've got to swing the top out, and if I put it upright, if I put it like that, it'll stop me swinging it out successfully. So if I put that there now, that door can neither go in nor out, it's fixed where it is. This one I know is alright because I didn't make the same error on this one. I'll show you what I've done. Right, so like I said, I was 70mm back from the OSB on that side, but for some bizarre reason I was 93mm on that side. So can you see there, look, Davey? Door frame's leaning in, look, can you see that, yeah? Yeah, which is not what we want, obviously. So the door's secure now, it ain't going nowhere, so now I can mess around with this and get it right, rectify what I did. I know from experience that if I put that in line with that slate button there, then that distance there should be somewhere plumb. But what I'll do now, I'll just throw a level on it and just make sure I'm right. We'll have a run around in a minute and just have a look at what John and Jen are doing. Right, David, can you see it? Right, so that's bang on there. So what I'm going to do now, take this slate button off here now. I'm going to refix it, push that door across to where it's supposed to be. We're good there. So my doors are now plumb going that way, but what I need to do now is get them right this way. Like I said, it's sat in position, it can't move. So what they generally come locked. So I'll just find a screwdriver. I know I had a few comments saying that I'm bossing people around and pass me this, pass me that. Well, try and bear in mind what I'm doing here. I'm working, I'm running a job, I'm trying to organise a job, but I'm also trying to decide what's best to show you and from what angle it needs to be shown. So if I haven't got something in my hand and I need it passing, just deal with it and get over it. Yeah, I'm polite. Everybody gets looked after here, everybody gets paid on time and everybody's happy-ish. Right, can you see now, look? So the doors are in, they can't fall out, they can't fall in. So what I can do now, I can go along. I'm just going to fix this sill before we jump out and have a look at John, because I've obviously put that silicone on the back there. I'm going to pull that frame tight in there. I'm going to put the screw through the thermal brake again. That will then go down into the sill below, but you can remember what I did. So when I put the packers on, put the sill on, I screw it to the right hand side. So now I'm screwing to the left hand side because I don't want to risk hitting the screw I've already put in there. They're quite easy to fit at these bifold doors. I've got a couple of detailed videos on YouTube how to fit them, and if you follow the instructions, you take your time. The sill is the most important bit. You get that sill right and you're laughing, you ain't got much to do after that. I know some of you struggle getting the gaskets in once the beads are in, but I'm going to show you how to do that successfully and all. Again, I'm pulling that sill, pulling the bottom of the frame rather back to the sill, so that it's compressed again. Can you see that silicone's come out there, David? Look, can you see? Look, yeah, that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to go down now and scrape that off and get one of these Wonder Wipes, Magic Wipes, Trade Wipes, whatever the brand you've gone for. But that needs to be wiped off, because what will happen then, it'll go sort of like translucent and it don't look very attractive. But these will clear it off. Get that nice and tidy for you. Right, Davey, what we'll do now, once I've cleaned this off, we'll go around and see what Jen and John are doing. I'll explain. You can just have a look at there, David, look. Can you see the back boxes? They've got all the back boxes in. Have they got them all in, David? Well, I'm not looking. Yeah. So let's talk through. Let's start over in that corner there. Customer's having an L-shaped sofa. So the L-shaped sofa will run from that side round to that side where David's panning the camera, and that's where the heat will go. So this morning he asked us could we move the heater slightly because he says it will clash with his sofa. So we're going to pull that across a little bit. You can see the fuse spur there they've put in for the heater. You can see where they originally were going to have it. Haven't moved it much, so the plan will still work as far as what we were going on about before with the pattresses and the notch out on the timber, so the cable can still be run inside. He's having a TV on the wall. He's also having a soundbar, which he hasn't got at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're going to run the soundbar wire externally, because without it being on site, we can't actually determine what's going to happen with it. There's lots of brands, lots of types of fixings, lots of type of cables. Right, that sill's on. I can forget about that sill now. I've just got to do the legs of the frame and the head, but we'll go around and see what these lot are doing. So, he's got the inside socket there, which is the last in the radial. This will be the outside socket. So that hole there, we'll stick the foam gun in there and form that up. The reason why the cables come down is to create a drip loop, because what you don't want is any condensation forming on them and running into the hole, but obviously it'll be formed anyway. So then he's running along, he's gone around the corner and into the second one there. You can see the drip loops he's put on. We haven't clad the back yet. I'm going to do something a little bit different with that. Not much different, but just a better finish. Come round here, he's gone in there again. See, he's put an eye there for internet, so that's where the internet's going to go. The fuse spare for the heater's going to go there, which they haven't run yet. And he's round here clipping it, so he's got his, that's where the double socket for the TV and the soundbar, I'd imagine, will be powered. Soundbar will be powered there, won't it, John? Yeah.
Yeah, soundbar's going to get powered.
Yeah. Again, so that hole there will be filled. Once they're all in the right position, they're happy with that, they'll go around, they'll foam up all the holes just to prevent any sort of thermal break in the build. So that's the radial. He's working his way around here. The consumer unit is going to go there, so they're heading towards that direction. Once he's done that, I'd imagine he'll jump back onto his. You're going on heater then after that, John?
Yeah.
He'll go put a radial in for the heater as well. It's pretty straightforward. Right, so where are we? They're in. Right, what you need to do and all is silicone over the top of them screws. You don't silicone that until the doors are fit, because when we're drilling, all this muck and that goes on the silicone, and it's not very attractive. So we'll jump over to this one, Davey. We know the door is right coming in and out of the room. Yeah, just open them a little bit. And what we need to do now is get it right. So we know it's good that way, yeah? Let me get my bearings. Right, so now we need to bring it. Can you see there, look, Davey? How's it look to you before I put my glass on?
Looks a bit to left the bubble.
It's ever so fractional, isn't it? Yeah. Right, so what we're going to do, again, as fixing started in this leg, again, I'm going through the thermal brake. The thermal brake, right, is plastic. Yeah? It hides the screw better than hiding it there. Yeah? And right, you've got two lots of window fitters. Some will say, yeah, you're doing exactly how I would do it, and others say, never fix through the thermal brake. You've more chance of getting the door broken into or some bizarre thing like that. Well, the thermal brake's absolutely solid. It's manufactured really well, and it ain't going nowhere. Right, I put a screw in there. I'm now gonna have a look at that. That's perfect as it is there, Davey. Sorry, did you not see that? It's perfect there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a packer that will fit behind there without pushing it, or when I screw it, it won't go in. Right, so we're looking at black packer. We'll get that nipped up then. And before I go any further with that, I'll just double check we're still happy with that. Push into me a little bit in it, Davey. Yeah. Right, so I've got black in there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that out and put white in there instead. Let's have a look at that one. And then nip it up onto that. Have a look at that now. Right, if you're fitting new PVC, nah, that's perfect. Right, if you're fitting new PVC, it's a different game altogether, because this sill is aluminium and it's dead straight, but UPVC won't be. So I'm going to put these fixings where the hinges are, because obviously that's the point under stress. Right, they're in, but they're not fixed. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put this level on there and make sure I haven't bored the frame at all, which I haven't. So all I need to do now is put some packers behind there. Again, slide them behind successfully, so that we're not pushing it out, we're not pulling it in. Yeah. But if it was UPVC, you've got to take a lot more care because obviously UPVC bends a lot easier than an aluminium would. So you have to be careful with that. A bit more cautious. There we go. So that's starting to... See, realistically, if you've got your frame right, you won't be far off with it being plumb anyway. And the building of the frame is not far off. Like, there's a mil difference in that leg now, and that could in fact be variation in timber, whatever. Right, if you're going to take part in the raffle, the raffle prizes this week are absolutely mental. But what happened last week is you get so much demand for them that the system at raffle can't really cope with the demand. So the best way we found to actually purchase your tickets is to log on, create an account, and buy credits first, and that will allow you to purchase quickly on the day. But I'll drop in the video now of the prizes, and you can see that then. Right, that leg's good. We're going to now check this leg. It shouldn't be far off because don't forget we plumbed up off the sill, didn't we? Right, Davey, what's happening there is because I've swung that leg out on that other side because I made the balls up. It's pulling ever so slightly. So what I'm going to do... I might have actually sorted it. That timber was on the piss a little bit. Do we go in a millimetre? Right. What I need to watch for now is that my doors don't want to pull out like that, which, yeah. So what I'm going to do, Dave, I'm going to keep my leg on that. Jen? Just come here a minute. Just put your hand on that sill for me a second. No, sorry, not the sill, the frame. You got it?
Yeah.
Jen. That screw won't come out of there. That's all. So I'm going to put that there like that, and I've left. Can you see the gap I've left here? Right, I've left that for a reason. I'll show you now. Thank you. Right, so I've left a gap there. Look, can you see? Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get a couple of packers, and I'm going to get my frame there. I know I'm fixed at the bottom because I'm fixed to the sill. Oh, that's perfect. Can you see that? Yeah. Yeah. So it's sat on there perfect. But if it wasn't, what I'd do then, I'd just pull that frame that way, stick a packer in there and hold it. But as it happens, as luck would have it, that's perfect there. Right. So I'm going to take this one off because I've got a fixing point there. And what's happening now, that screw's wanting to bring the full block with it. So what I'm going to do, look, put that screw in like that, Dave. You see that? Yeah. I'm going to put a packer there. I don't want that screw to scratch that frame on its way out. There, you see now that's come out and it wouldn't come out before. Yeah. There we go. Take that off there. Now I can take that off there because what's happening is that frame is being pulled out. Yeah, it wants to sit out constantly for the weight of the doors. Right, we're going to fix this through there. Look, through the top because it's right angle. Sorry, not right angle, because it's an oblong, rectangle even, and it's manufactured well, then that top there won't pull apart, so whatever the packers it needs now, then that will be, not making much sense, am I? Right, it's a right angle, it's fixed together, because I fixed that side there, that side won't pull apart because it's so close to the top, so I know that when I put packers in there now, which I have done like that, that will be in the right position. That's secured that. Right, so my other fixing points now, we're going to hide them. So we're going to put them in the keeps for the locks. I won't screw them in all the way because I've not packed them yet. They'll be concealed, so what I'll do, I will stick my level on there which I know is straight and make sure the leg is straight, which it is, it's good. So all that needs to be done now is a series of packers down the leg at them fixing points, and I can see where they are. That's probably a little bit tight, you hammer. You won't be able to see that all. Can you see that all, Davey? How I've compressed the film. Can you see it? All right, I've compressed the thermal break, which is what we're looking for, but not actually broke it. And of course, we will foam these doors up as well. And there's a lot of you know, if you're a window fitter or if you're in the building trade, often doors and windows are fit. We just foam anyway because it gets the right grip. I've often took them out and there's never been one fixing in them. And I know a lot of them do it right or wrong, but that's what they do. So again, they're fixed. I'm just going to have a look and make sure that this locking mechanism is somewhere near. Generally, the doors there, let me show you there, look. You see how they're dragging, look, yeah? But I know the bottom is right, but the top isn't. Look, see how now they don't drag. They drive a lot better whenst the glass is in the some way. So that's locking nice now. Right, so we know there's an issue with the top. Yeah, you can hear it, can't you? Right, so we know the sill is right, but we just need to get that top right now. Now, the way we're going to do that is, this frame has been manufactured like this, and it's a rectangle, so that's the frame. So leg A and leg B should be exactly the same size. Yeah, so that's your frame there. So that distance there, yeah, is what we need to fix that distance and that distance that. And then that means, because what's happening now, to exaggerate it, that frame's sagging down a little bit like that, but we need to get it right. So that distance there, what we'll do, we'll take a measure on that, like this. Yeah, we'll take a measure off there. I'll put my glasses on in a minute, but it's looking at about 1776. And we'll make sure that it's exactly the same in two other points. Now, them points are the hinging points. So we're going to fix it there, and we're going to fix it there. Again, I've got the steel beam up there, so what we're going to have to do is use some roofing tech screws, which are the same screws we fixed that timber to the steel with anyway. They're nice to get a good fixing, but that'll require some packing in there. So what we're going to do, we'll drop the laser on one of the walls and we'll get it dead perfect with there, so that these doors have got a nice glide on. Right, so I put a little packer just in them points there, and I put a tech screw up through there. Can you see it, David? Look, see, it's just compressed the thermal break, yeah? Yeah, and the doors now glide. Like I said before, they will glide. That bead's on its way out, look. They will glide a lot better once the glass is in, because they obviously work a lot better when the weight's in them, but they're gliding now, they're not catching, there's no like squeaky horrible noise anymore now. So we're happy with them now. We're just going to check and make sure that the locks, sometimes it might be a little bit tight. You need to adjust it when the glass is in. There, that's working as well. So they're in, that's the doors in. I can now take these blocks off. Like I said, windbags, cheap enough, yeah, but a lot of fannying around. This Makita drill I bought is the height of disappointment. The best thing about it, and the only good thing about it, is it's yellow.
Yeah.
For some reason, it feels like it's off balance as well. It was a Japanese import. I did actually think it might be slightly more powerful than the other one I had, but no, that failed as well. John's Milwaukee is still number one as far as power and speed is concerned. Right, they're in, they're fixed, they're all secure. Just got to be glazed now. What I'll do is I'll glaze one of them for you. I'll show you how I'm going to glaze that. And then I'll glaze the rest. I'll get the gasket in as well. Right, John now is marking up his electrical cables. he should have his inside lights, his outside lights, and his feed as well. Is that what you've got, John? Free? Yeah, he's marking him up. He'll pop them through. What we're doing as well, look, if you can see inside there, they've cut the cables back to the length they require them, and they've put insulation tape over the screw holes for the face plates, because when Tom comes, he can skim over that, and he's not going to get all plaster in the little holes. Easy enough to clean out, but just a bit of a pain in the ass as well. Right, so the glass. We need to toe and heel it, and toe and heeling it basically, I'll show you. If you think about a garden gate, so there's your gate post, yeah? The gate opens, it's hinged on this side, so let's say that is our gate, yeah? That's our gate there, and it's hinged on this side, yeah? There's his hinges. Right, if it doesn't have a brace in it, what will happen is the weight of the gate will sink, and that gate will end up dropping down and catching on the floor. It will also catch on that post there as well as it drops down, and it becomes more, let's exaggerate that, more rhomboid, yeah? So it'll catch that, it'll catch on the floor, and it'll catch on there. So what it needs then, it needs a brace. Now, if that brace goes in there like that, the weight of the gate will then push down on there, which is on that hinge, which will hold that gate up, yeah? So that's how it's braced. So we do the same with the glass, but the thing with the glass is obviously we can't put a brace down the centre, so you use the strength of the glass for the brace. So what will happen is there'll be a packer there and a packer there, and there'll be a packer there and a packer there. So the weight of the door rather will be pushing in a line down there straight into that corner. That corner there will be floating, and this corner there will be floating as well. So that one will be that one, because it's on that hinge. That's the way we need to go. This is the next hinge point there. Let me open that. Shouldn't open them while they're closed. Right, just lock that, haven't I? Right, so let's look at the hinge points on these. Right, there we go. So we can toe and heel that one there. It'll push onto that. And then this is the next load bearing point there, which is down there. So we will have to toe and heel it that way. And the leading door will be toe and heeled that way. So there'll be no weight on them parts that are actually floating then. And that's what we need to do, is toe and heel it. It's your breakfast time, mate, John? No. 10 past 9. Right. How are you doing with your moss?
Liam, I'd say, right, that my aches and pains haven't gone, but they do feel loads less. But they, like when I arch my back now, I can feel it a bit, but only really a bit.
Right.
I've only been here 5 days.
Have you been having a good old spoonful of it?
Yeah, quite big, yeah.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Well, they recommend 2 on the internet. When I was
Two?
on YouTube, they recommend 1 on a night and 1 on a morning.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Joe, he's been tight, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
Right.
because I did say that.
Okay. So my other mate, John, he's got us onto this thing called sea moss. It's like a pot of crap. Well, how would you describe it as, John? It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, you swallow it, and you do get like a taste of seaweed, but a very bland taste, not strong.
It's disgusting.
And it hangs around in your mouth. You've got to take a good
It looks a
drink.
bit like lard when lard's starting to congeal back up, and it's got that consistency.
But do Google it, everybody,
Yeah.
because it's meant to be out of this
So
world.
the reason why we started taking it is I'm 50 this year. How old are you, John? Are you 32? John's 32.
48.
He's 48 and he's got very few grey hair. Anyway, he's a bit ginger. Right. but he said, didn't he? He says your aches and pains will start to go away. And I've been on it 2 weeks now, although I've not took it religiously every day because I keep forgetting. But my aches and pains have gone away. John says he's starting to go away. So sea moss, Google it. It run TikTok, so it must be true, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But try it anyway. That's that. Davey obviously doesn't need it. What Davey needs is a bloody alarm clock. 'Cause Davey can't get out of bed in the morning. Can you, Davey?
I better get up and go.
You what?
I can, it will 1 time.
It was like 2 times now, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 times now.
in a year though, 2 times
3.
in a year.
2 times in a year. No, it's not bad going, to be fair, Davey. You're right. Right, we'll stop there. We'll get some glass in, and then I'll show you how to unheal it. Right, I'm going to throw a piece of glass in for you now, and I'll show you how to do one. So I've explained tone healing. These little foam blocks are put in to keep the beads in transit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take them out one at a time. The bead should come out relatively easy because there's no glass and no gasket, so it just wants pushing forward now. And while I'm on this, I'll show you how it goes back in. So that piece there, look, you see that piece there, Davey? Yeah, clicks into that little groove there, yeah. Alright, so that goes in like that, and then that piece there clicks back into there, and that piece there holds the gasket. But rather than mix them up, I'm going to put the left leg there, I'll put the right leg over here. So when I take this one out, I'm going to watch that top one isn't going to fall on me. Not worried about me, more worried about the sill. But it's still got its little foam blocking, so that's good. So I'll pop that one there, so I know that's that. Take that foam block out of there. And I pop that one there. Now, whether you put your top bead in or your bottom bead, I always do bottom first, so I'll explain why in a second. Take the bottom one out, and then I'm just going to run my finger along. Don't worry about that, where the foam block's been in. The sun will get on that, and it will return it back. So what I'm going to do, I'm just push my fingers up and make sure this outside gasket is in correctly. Go around there. We're all good. Right, the glass. The glass will be marked up. It will have a sticker on from the manufacturers normally saying this side in. I know, like I say from experience, the sticker's there, so it will be that side in. And lo and behold, it does say this side in. Right. If you leave them out in the sun for any length of time, that happens. I'll show you how to get that off successfully as well. Right, see there, look David, where my finger is there, it does say label to inside, yeah? Yeah, because it's coated glass. Right, these little blue spacers, travel packers, take them off as well. Throw them to the side. Get rid of them. Right, so they're all good. I know that glass is going to go in now, yeah? Get that off as well. Right, if you catch the corner of the glass, you'll shatter it. So you want to put it in nice. It is toughened glass, but the corner is the point which you'll shatter. So that's in. Right, what I need to do now is get it up and get a packer in the bottom corner. Just gonna dig out the packers I need. I'm gonna put a blue one in either side of it. David, do you want to come to this side and you'll see better then, I think. You see there? Yeah, so nylon shovel there, that won't break the glass. I can't get it under. Jen, put your hand on there for us. There, she just pushed the glass up. I'll stick a packer under there. Right, so what I'm going to do, get that packer under there. And I'm going to put it at a slight angle like that, and I've explained before why it's at a slight angle. Can you see it, Davey? Yeah, because what I'm trying to do is pack both bits of glass up on it, because if you don't, stick that under, one bit of glass in on it, sun will get on it, one piece of glass will drop, and the seal has got a fair chance of breaking then. And you'll get condensation on the inside of your glass, which means the unit needs replacing. And slide that one in there as well. That's not gone in properly. There, so I've got packers in that corner now, yeah? Like I said, I was going to brace it. So what I'm going to do now is get some in the top. Go to this side. Just wedge that glass over like that. Get one in there. So there's probably too much of that blue one. Where's that gone? Get rid of that one. Put that green instead, which is better, because I want, you see the bar there, the black bar, I want the bar to be even on both sides, or evenish anyway against the seal. Right, so the top there, watch that point there, David, look. Can you see it going up and down? Yeah? So I want to take the pressure off the bottom of that door, so you need to keep your hand on the glass at all times, yeah? I'm going to pop that in there now. I'm going to just stick one more as well. Yeah, so there's pressure now pushing from that corner and a diagonal line down to that corner now. So what I should be able to do now is get that in there. Look, can you see that glass isn't actually touching? Yeah? It's not touching the frame there, so there's no weight on that point. So when that door opens, there'll be no weight on that point. Right, I've got my hand even on the glass. I don't want it to fall down. So I always do my bottom one first, doesn't really matter. So I've put the top one there first, that's the first one I've took out, and I took the bottom one there then. Yeah, so I'm just going to get this bead. Again, that piece there, yeah, I'm going to slide into that groove there. I'm just going to send it down in that kind of motion. There, that's popped in. While I'm here, I'm just going to pop that shovel in there. Can you see the glass flexing, Davey? Yeah, you can. Yeah. And I'm going to stick a packer in there now. Yeah, that'll hold that bead somewhere near where it wants to be. And now just keep my fingers on there. Same with the top bead. Just use the back of my hand. See, it won't, once it's in, it won't actually fall out. What I'm going to do now is just get a packer in there as well. There. So we've got 2 beads in now. Again, side one. I'm going to pop that in like that. Again, it's gone in like that, and then I'm going to go like that. Look. There, did you hear it click in, yeah? There, so that's in. Can you see it's loose, look? Ish. Right, so I'm going to put 2 packers in there. What I'll do with that, look, I'll just put that nylon shovel in there, flex the glass over, stick the packer in, slide it down. Again, just push that up there like that, right? So I've got 1 more bead to put in now, and then that glass is not going anywhere. That one is putting up a little bit more resistance, gone in there. There, so that one's in as well. I'll get another 2 packers in there. Like I say, you can give it a fair old belt with your hand on that nylon shovel there. It's not going to cause you any problems. Won't break it. Won't scratch the glass. Right, so that's sort of in. It's held. You can leave that for however long you want now. But what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, David? Can I have that yellow bag, please, Jen? I'm going to put the gaskets in there. That's it. And my nips, where are my nips? Out there, please, if you would get them, please. They'll be in my toolbox. That one there. Still going to fit the gasket now. A long time, thank you. A long time ago, I used to get our stuff for replacing leads. He was a horrible man, wasn't he, John? Do you remember when I told him his doors were crap and he wanted to fight me? He was very angry, wasn't he? Right. So there's my gasket. I've kept it off the floor. The only good thing I did get from that bloke is he told me not to let the gasket go on the floor because what will happen then, it will pick up bits of crap off the floor, and if it's tight going in, it will scratch the glass with the crap. I'm going to get rid of that little bit there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pull that look like that. Yeah. Cut off a piece I need. Put that over there. Right. The gasket. You see the gasket? Can you see that? Let's put it against this white dip. Is that any better? No? Can you see that? Can you see how one side is bigger than the other? Yeah. Depending on how tight the glass is, you can reverse this. So you can push the little side in, or you can push the big side in. I know this glass is quite tight. You see there? Look, it's just... That's the little side. I'll just try it on the big side and see what happens. No, so I'm going to go a little side with it. Right. Window cleaner. If it's winter, stick it in a bucket of warm water, the gasket, and it will go in better. Window cleaner is your friend. It helps it slide in. Bit of lube and it will slide in nicely. There you go. Just pop straight in. See there, look like, yeah, it's in. I've not put it over there for a reason because what I'm going to do now is shove that across like that. Yeah, and then just push that in with my finger. That is my phone beeping. I'm hoping that's DPD and they're bringing the table saw. Missed them yesterday. Right, so I'm going to slide the packer across because of course the packer is creating that space between the window and the bead. Yeah, so I've got that somewhere near I need it. I can take that out now. I'm now going to cut this approximately to length. Yeah, push that bit in. So that's the topping. Let me just check if it is. No, it's not, no. Right, bottom one. Again, I'm going to cut that to length. Longer than what I need. They always supply extra. Bit of window lean. I'll push this across to where... I don't know if you can see that, David. Can you see that gap there?
Yeah.
Right, just watch as I push the bead plastic packer across. See it get bigger?
Yeah.
Can you see that? Can you see it smaller? Yeah? Yeah. So I'm going to push the packer across because that'll help me get the bead in. Not the bead, the gasket. Get my words right. If you watch the 10-day build, I lost my fingernail in that. It's almost back now. Can you see that? Still gross, but it's almost back. And nearly fully whole again. Right, so I'm going to slide that across, help me get that in. And try and keep it off the floor anyway. And try and avoid using my fingernails because it does mark it. You get like a fingernail mark on it and it don't want to come out. Again, put that to where I want, pull that packer out. That'll slide down there and that's in. So that's your bottom, that's your top. Right, the side ones, these are the important ones. We'll get this. Get it as long as what I need it. A bit longer. Right. What we need to do with them is get them so there's got... What you'll get is like a drawback on it. So what happens is someone gets on it and stuff like that, starts to stretch it and that. And it happens sometimes, it doesn't. There's not a lot you can do about it half of the time. But this will help you try and combat it a little bit. So, pop that in like that. Yeah, it's pushed right to the top. It's hard for you to see because it's black on daylight, isn't it? You can't see it, can you really? No, can you a little bit? Right, it's pushed tight to the top, yeah? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave a loop over that spacer like that. Can you see that? Look. Let's exaggerate it a little bit, yeah. Right, so I'm going to leave that loop there, and then this one's a little bit tight to go in, so I'm going to use, I'll keep my finger there, I'm going to use the back of the shovel, look, just to slide it in. Look, see that there, look? Yeah? That's going in all right. Yeah, I'm going to do the same here now. What I'll do is I'll cut this to length. I'll cut it longer than what I need. Yeah, leave a little loop like that. Cut that to the right length. Pop that in there. So when I take them packers out now, I've got an extra little bit. So when I put that in there, that means that then is longer. You see there, look there a bit. Yeah, get that in. So it's longer than what it needs, but it's compressed in, so any pullback should be rectified. I'll do the same on this one there, David. And then I'll show you how I'm going to get that sticker off as well. Cut that to what I need. A little side in. There we go. Again, push it tight to the top. Let's keep it up there. Use the back of the shovel there. It's perfect for this job. Slide it in. Again, extra loop. Cut it off. Push that bit in there. In you go, look bugger. There. Take that out. And then we just need to get rid of that excess little bit there. That's gone. That's gone. So there, that's fully gasketed up. Now I'm going to get my blade out of there. Right, this is how you can get rid of these, right? David, I've got windling on my fingers. Can you get it off? You did. Right. So the blade, if I go like that, it's going to scratch the glass, but if I put it on its side, yeah, like that, I can get rid of all that sticker. I've got it like just, my fingers just holding the back of it off. Yeah, like I say, on its side, and you're not going to scratch that glass. You get rid of that sticker. It's because they've been sat there in sun, and sun's worked its magic onto adhesive and make it stick. But of course you need to leave them on so you can identify which side. So that's that. That's tone healed. It's fully glazed. It's got its gasket in. That one is done. I'm now just going to give the glass a clean, and I'm going to do the other two. And then we'll have a look at the doors gliding. Yeah, right. Got an issue here. No. Right, so have a look at that look. Right, we're going, yeah? Right, so this is where the mains comes in. Now, what will happen is Tony will put another little board somewhere, I'd imagine here. I think he'll pull them to the side and put it there. But I'm looking at that. Imagine that's where he's going to go. So we're going to try and come in there. But what I've just noticed now is that there's like a 10mm steel, 10mm twin and earth there, John, and it looks like it's running down behind the board. So what I'm thinking is there's some cables behind this that obviously we don't want to drill in because they've boxed out the wall there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there might well be a cable behind there, or more than one anyway. Right, so we're assuming there's cables behind there. So that's a bit of plasterboard there. So I'm all right drilling through that. Just put your finger on that ply. Is it 18mm, John, or can you see it's about 18mm? It looks 18mm ply to me, yeah? Yeah. Right, so I'm through plasterboard. What we've got a masonry drill, and it's on hammer action obviously. What I'm trying to do is punch a hole through it rather than drill through it, because there's more chance of damaging cables that way. If I punch through, I can pull back as soon as I get there. I can feel I'm starting, I can feel it bouncing now, so I must be coming to sort of like the last laminations on ply. Is that something vibrating? Isn't it? What?
Yeah.
You what? So I can hear something, like, I'm obviously vibrating something, which makes me worry. Is it a pipe?
Yeah.
What's that picture like? I don't know if I prefer electricity, gas or water. How thick is that ply?
I'd stop for a minute. Just have a little breathe.
It's 18mm, I must be nearly through it now. Is it that red? It's the radiator, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah.
The breakers have tripped, so I can only imagine it is wood.
Maybe.
That's out.
Really? Yeah. Can you? Wow. David, just run around that video and video it. Just talk about it from the other side now, Liam.
Right, so I've gone through. That's me completely through. I think there was just a lot of timber frame that behind there that we've encountered there. Davey, I think he says it's
close to a light.
Close to an outside light. Let's have a quick look.
I'll see it anyway.
Where is it, David? Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right, that's close enough. All right, right. We'll go do the Cat 6 now as well. Yeah. This is a different scenario altogether. We've got modem over there. Behind there is the gas meter on the outside of the wall. So what we're going to do on this occasion, we're going to pull the carpet back. I'm going to then send it through because I know there I'm well clear of the meter. Through the first skin there, you know, the breeze block, so I'm on the stone now. think we need a longer drill bit. Have a quick look.
Is it because of the bare windows there?
It is, John. I can't actually. Davey, just come down here, mate. Just have a look there, see if you can see the drill bit behind that bush. It should be approximately there. No?
Can't see it yet, but it started shaking off at wall.
No?
Yeah, I can see it.
Right. Get me the Cat 6, Davey, and feed it up through that hole to me. So, there's a bay window there. And I've actually gone into the side of the bay window, so it would have been better a little bit further over there, but it's through. I won't put that away just yet because we might have to re-drill it while it pops through. Now, for my cable days, I know that putting this on the carpet when it's hot is a mistake, isn't it, John? And we've all burnt the carpet in this time, haven't we? Davey, you going to point it upwards to me?
It's only down
Yeah.
all day there.
So let's see if Davey can get this through. Just get rid of that rubbish. First time. Right, so what we'll do now, I'll put customer's carpet back. What John's going to do now, he's going to go dress the cable outside and then he'll push back through the excess, what we need there, and then he'll re-pop the carpet back down, what you done. Yeah. Right, so that's it. They're both drilled out. A bit touch and go, but we got there in the end. Right, so we're using a Cat 6 cable. It's an exterior grade one. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. No, I can't.
Touch it on screen, I mean.
There we go. Yeah, it's Cat 6, right? John's going to talk you through his tools and what he's got here. Right, John.
You can't believe you touched the cable.
Right, don't touch the cable.
Right. So basically, you don't have to use this tool, but this is a Nipex Cat 6 wire stripper. It stops you actually stripping the internal cores by accident. So all you do with this is just give it a gentle squeeze, turn it round once, go like that. Oops. And that should nicely pull off, and you've stripped none of your cores.
Right, cool. That's what you can do now.
I'm going to tell him once I've chopped that off.
Now just tell him what you
All right, okay, right. Well, I've just chopped. Sorry, it's just 'cause I'm used to doing it.
There we go.
Right, basically, I've just chopped the inside rubber piece, which gives the cable strength so that it doesn't snap when you're bending it. I'm now going to use one of these new style, well, the new to me, new style connectors. And basically what you do with these is the cables push straight through and out of the other side so that you can check that, because anybody who's done one of these before knows that you can easily get the wires twisted and you've got to chop it off and start again. But this way, you don't have to. So first of all, I'm going to put this on. I used to always forget this part.
It's like a little boot in it.
Yeah.
Probably got a technical name.
It's not actually critical, but it just looks more professional if you put it on. And now, the good news is, on this tool here, if you look, if Liam can see this here, it gives you the colours on which way to put them, because I always forget. And this is the one we want here, the orange and white, orange, green. So I'm now going to follow this code and straighten them all out. It's best to leave them a bit longer so that when you've done them all, you can give them a good pull and get them nice and straight. Otherwise, if you leave them small, it's really hard to give them a nice pull like that and get them straight. Right, so as you can see, I've now got the wires all in order. Orange and white, orange, green and white, blue, blue and white, green, brown and white, brown. But they're too long at the minute. So what I'll do is, now they've all been pulled nice and square, I'll still leave them long, but I'm just going to chop them. And now, this is where this plug that I was just telling you about, I left it on the floor here. This is now where this plug shines, because you used to try push them in and see where they were going. Yeah, you used to push them in there to where the little goal bits are, and that would be the end of it, and you couldn't see if they're twisted. But watch this, I'll slide this on. So watch this one, you see how they come out of the other end now, where they never used to do that, so you can quickly check that you've got the right orientation still, which should be orange and white, orange, green and white, blue, blue and white, green, brown and white, brown. I know guaranteed that none of them are twisted now, so I can just crimp that on. This is a new, well, it's a new style tool to me. I mean, it's not that new. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in here, check the cables come out the other side, and go like that. Pull it back out. That one. And there you go. That is now. Then we'll just focus in there. Whereas before, you'd have to, you see how it looks now? That's how the cables used to be. And then you just had to crimp it and you couldn't see if they were twisted or not. But that now will guaranteed work 100% every time. And then we'll just push this over the end. And we're ready to put it in his mode. I'm going to video that, Liam.
No, it's fine that now. Yeah. So you can see there the steel wire diamond. It's 10 mil steel wire diamond 3/4. So Tony will connect a little consumer unit up there. He'll put some tails in there, and then he'll test that and certify, which means we don't have to go in the customer's box. Outside it will get cleated to the wall. The backfill in it now. We'll quickly run over the cable run in a minute, but we'll go backwards then. So over there is where we went in with the Cat 6. That'll get clipped to the wall and siliconed, the entry hole there. It's been buried along here under the gravel. This will get cleated back to the wall. Again, the entry hole will get siliconed. So it's gone under there, it's under the gravel. We've gone up there behind the fence. We've gone straight along the fence and straight up the hedge, and I'll show you around this side now. Right, there we off. Yeah, so it's gone behind the fence. It runs along the fence. There's a little wire mesh fence in there. Can you see that in there, David? We've cable tied that to the fence. It's better you can see it. There's like nowhere else we can put it, so you can actually see it there. It can't get damaged. There isn't a minimum depth for cable, as I said before, as long as it's adequately protected. Now you can see that it's visual. It's absolutely fine. Goes up there through the hedges. It goes under that hedge over there. Yeah, goes under the hedge. David, will you get them leaves and get them up there so you can't see that? It's then buried. It goes up to the building, and there the Cat 6 will run there. The steel wire diamond runs there. It runs up here, and it will go through there into the consumer unit. The internet, I believe, is that one there, so they're going to tack that along there and put that there as well. So that's the full cable run. Tom's here now. He's putting the beads on for plastering. So that's it. We'll be back again tomorrow. Probably, if it's not raining, we're going to get some cladding on. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.